2 of our monthly copywork series at TorahFamilyLiving.com. Our theme this month is a cause for joy. And today we'll be finishing the passage we started yesterday in Philippians chapter 2. We'll be reading verses 5 through 11. So hopefully you've had a chance to read that for yourself and copy it down. And now we'll go ahead and read it together. I'll be reading from the ESV today. So again, I'll be reading Philippians chapter 2, verses 5 through 11. Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Messiah Yeshua, who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men. And being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. Therefore, God has highly exalted him and bestowed on him the name that is above every name, so that at the name of Yeshua every knee should bow in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and every tongue confess that Yeshua the Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. So yesterday we were starting this idea of how are we to behave in the family of God, and looking at how we would want our children to interact with each other. Are we as adults interacting as maturely as we expect our children to? And that's a good start to look at sibling relations. But our ultimate example of how to truly behave and interact in the family, in the larger family of God, is by the example of Yeshua. And there's a lot in this passage about what Yeshua did to provide for our salvation that we should spend our whole life pondering and not getting over how amazing and awesome it is what he did for us. We didn't deserve it, and he still chose to do it anyway. He is God, and he chose to take on human form. That alone had to be a very humbling experience to go through, to actually take part in the creation of the world and then choose to take the form of one of your creations. That is it. That is a huge picture of humility. And then he not only did that, he didn't come as a king like they expected him to the first time. He came as a servant. We're told he had nowhere to even lay his head. He didn't even have a home to call his own. He was constantly traveling, and people were trying to kill him. He didn't even come in grandeur. He came in very low conditions. And then, of course, we know that the ultimate thing that he did was he willingly laid down his life to take the punishment for our sins. And thankfully, it was all part of the plan, and he rose again, and it's awesome. It's incredible. But what I want you to ponder today is, am I willing to humble myself even partly like he did when I'm interacting with other people? Am I willing to set aside my interests or my plans or what I think is the best way to do something to be able to help someone else? Am I willing to approach people in humility the way Yeshua gave us an example? How am I doing at that? That's something that I want you to think about today is, am I following Yeshua's example of humility and being willing to set aside my own interests for the interests of others around me? So that's a lot for you to think on today. So get to it, and until next time, have a great day.